and welcome to this review of the Sisters of Scandal historical romance book series by Lily Maxton. I'm Olivia, your favorite resource for book recommendations you can easily screenshot, and you're watching Random Olive Reads. So we start with book one, The Affair, which is a novella length story. We have widowed Countess Elizabeth, who is out of mourning and ready to wear colorful dresses again. She goes on a shopping trip to the Modiste and gets caught in the rain. So she escapes from the rain by walking to a bookstore and meets the handsome rake of a bookseller, Cale. She's instantly intrigued by him, and somehow he's intrigued by her as well. Later, at a ball, Elizabeth finds herself being courted by her late husband's cousin and heir, while also being pursued by Cale for an affair. She ends up starting an affair with Cale, even knowing that he's not interested in marriage, and they have this whole difference in social station that could really impede a serious relationship. This was a fairly quick read that resolves quickly, but still really enjoyable. The second book in the series is The Wager. Now, the Countess Elizabeth has two younger sisters, so we meet the outspoken middle sister Anne in this story. She is trying to steal a copy of a scandalous memoir by a courtesan, and while she's in some estate's library, she runs into Michael. Now, Michael is the earl that her sister had refused the previous year. So these two start a little bit of flirty letter exchanging and then some flirtatious wagering when they're in the same seaside town later. When they're caught in a compromising situation together, they're pressured to marry, even though Anne doesn't want to marry someone who's in love with her sister. This was another quick and straightforward romance to read from this series. And the third sister gets her book in The Love Match. With Olivia's older sisters settled and married, her mother is now trying to make a suitable match for the shy and bookish youngest sister. We're now at a house party, and Olivia's non flirtatious demeanor somehow has caught the attention of William, a mere mister who's known to be a rake and a flirt. They start a dalliance while at the house party, despite having no intention of courting or marrying. I think I like this one the best out of the three novellas since William was just so good at defending Olivia whenever it was needed. The Mistake is book four of the series. This one's actually a full length novel. This one follows the romance of Julia, the high profile courtesan that we met very, very briefly in book one and heard about with her scandalous memoir in book two. She is currently pregnant with a Marquess's child and is under contract to remain his mistress in exchange for monetary and social support of the child. Feeling disgusted with him and herself, really, she feigns illness and ends up being housed at his country estate temporarily until he comes to collect her. While there, she reconnects with the head gardener, Adam, who was her childhood friend. Now, the tragic prologue will tell you that Adam has been in love with Julia for years, but their paths diverged when she became a courtesan. And it's all sorts of emotional angst in this second chance romance. The last book of the series is The Improper Bride. This book will be so much more rewarding after reading book four because we meet both of the characters there. Henry, the Marquess, is basically the most unlovable, friendless asshole ever, and he nearly dies in a fire at his estate. Miraculously, he survives, but is a total curmudgeon during his recovery. Now, the widowed housekeeper, Cassandra, is somehow tasked by the doctor to keep him occupied, so she figures she'll benefit as well, so she asks for lessons in a foreign language. As they spend time together every day, they grow closer together and start to really see the personality and the vulnerability beneath the title or the role that each one inhabits. Of course, they've got that whole forbidden employer employee relationship there with massive social class differences. So, even any affection between them would be improper and ultimately lead to heartbreak. Now, Henry's near death experience has also reminded him that he has a duty to marry and sire heirs, so he enlists his sister in hosting a house party and bringing eligible women for him to meet. But as he's meeting these other women, none of them compare to Cassandra. So there's tons of emotional angst there. This one was actually a really amazing romance to read. And we do eventually find out the cause of the fire that started the book. Overall, this series was a total surprise hit for me. I don't know why people don't talk about this series more. The first three novellas were quick and easy reads that introduced the sisters of Scandal. And then somehow we transition into the last two books where we get all the angst and emotional turmoil of just that really impossible situation that needs to find really good payoff. The side character, and really just a barely side character, Courtesan, gets a whole book on her own where she meets her childhood friend again. She befriends the housekeeper at her asshole protector's estate. And then the next book is about that asshole protector and the very nice housekeeper. And if you're wondering how this guy is going to redeem himself, it's really just a mix of his near death experience plus the outspoken toughness of the housekeeper. It just all works so well together. This was a really great series. I didn't see it coming, so I definitely recommend it. Thank you so much for watching this video. Links to all of these books are in the description box. Like and subscribe so you don't miss future videos, and you can follow me on Instagram at randomolive.